Cool. So our next presenters, we have Andrea Laguna. Bree Gonzalez is not here today, and we have Irma Mendoza. Sorry, I'm so excited. I can't talk. I'm all over the place. But thank y'all. We got Andrea and Irma coming up here. And shout out to Bree. You know, she couldn't make it today.
Hello, everyone. Today we'll be presenting on our Oakland Environmental Resilience, a youth project. My name's Irma Mendoza.
My name is Andrea.
Bree couldn't be here. She had some other stuff to do. Yeah.
Okay, for a quick backstory, me, Irma, and Bree, who were a part of the OSLA, were 3 OUSC students of color from East Oakland who noticed that within our community, we are really underrepresented in like the STEM career or like the STEM field, and that can be seen as how limited the amount of youth are in the OSLA. It's just like, I believe 4 of us, and like it was also mainly adults, but like it also goes to show how like we need more opportunities within like the school system. And we realized that like the information on like environmental issues is not like often reach the majority of Oakland students. Like there's also different like I guess pathways and like different schools that are more aware of that, like unlike others who may be focusing on like things like art or like engineering. And we would like to like fix that within like the Oakland community or like Oakland schools. And we would also not be aware of like the amount of climate change that is happening within our communities, which I believe is important since it impacts everyone. And like any other issue impacting a city, community members need to be a part of the conversation so we can find greater solutions for everyone. For our goal, our overall project idea was to create a youth program like dedicated to teaching like the underrepresented students in the STEM careers to teach them how to advocate for themselves and their environment. So it would again be mainly aimed at students in the Oakland Unified School District, and they would often participate in field days with the purpose of shoreline restoration, kind of how the OSLA was doing with us, but only aimed or mainly aimed at students in Oakland. And they would also attend lectures like of varying topics such as STEM, professional development, activism, all that could help them out within their personal lives or their school lives. And also students would have the opportunity to network with professionals from other organizations as well as other students.
Okay, here are 2 graphs from a survey we took at Skyline High School and Oakland Unified School District. To be a little more clear, the yellow represents neutral, red, disagree, blue, strongly agree. The orange color represents strongly disagree, and green represents agree. I gave them different statements that they would have to decide whether they agree or disagree. And the first one was, I know where to find opportunities in STEM. And you can see the majority is either neutral towards that or disagrees. And for the second one, I gave them the statement, I know what climate justice is, and the majority agreed. But I think the important part to note about these graphs is that when we took these graphs, the majority of students taking them was from the science pathway at the school, and they should be learning environmental science, sustainable systems, energy science, and more about environmental racism and all of that. And even when they are in that pathway, they still don't get the information that they should. I feel like these strongly agree and agree sections should be larger, but it's just not what they're learning enough about. Okay, and our site that we are going to focus on is MLK Junior Shoreline. We chose this because the 3 of us knew this place the most, and we saw the least change here. I think when we went to visit shorelines, we saw a lot of attention in restoration in the other ones, and when we visited this one, there wasn't much going on besides planting native species, but it wasn't very often, and we wanted to be part of the change here. Yeah, and students will participate in shoreline litter cleanups, invasive plant removals, and native species planting on their weekly field days.
So during the shoreline litter cleanup, students will keep track of the trash through the Marine Diverse Tracker app, and the app was designed by the National Geographic Society as a way to encourage citizen scientists. So students will learn what it means to be a citizen scientist and why they are vital to their community. And the MLK Junior Shoreline does have cleanup days, and then the shoreline itself hosts them, but there needs to be a constant maintenance throughout the shoreline, given that it's only like not like consistent within like the whole year. So MLK Junior Shoreline, Damon's Low is one of the top 5 most littered areas in the Bay Area, which is something important that we need to focus on and be consistently cleaning up after it.
Okay, and since we also want to hold lectures or guest speaker days, we would hope to rent out the Shoreline Center that is in MLK Junior Shoreline, and they have a commercial kitchen, a main room, and they do have an audio visual system and Wi-Fi, so students could have their laptops, or there could be a projection screen and more information given to them through that. These are 2 photos of the Shoreline Center from the inside, and some of our potential lecture topics would be the difference between a 1.5 degree Celsius increase and a 2 degrees Celsius increase. I think this is a lot. This increase is in the news a lot, but I don't think a lot of students know what it actually means or what the difference would mean for our future. Another one would be redlining in the Bay Area, its history, and environmental racism. They would learn ways to be an advocate at their high schools, and we would want them to understand living shorelines.
Now, as for our budget section, we would be looking into like grant opportunities that includes like the youth community access grant, and also Measure AA will like fund for like school or like youth and schools to have more opportunities. And we could also do like community school funds and like where youth participate or can lead fundraisers for the shoreline and for the program itself. And main tasks that will be funded for will be instructors, which we are hoping to get 2 for the whole school year, students, which would range from 15 to 20 students, and transportation for students, food for students. Rentals include just the center that we hope to use, supplies, just office supplies, medical supplies, or like even science supplies that they could use. And the total cost ranges from the numbers seen there, 119,000 to around 235,000. This is just an estimate, it's not actually confirmed. And as for our overall schedule, we first off would need to apply for the Youth Access Grant when it opens, I believe, spring of 2023, and our next steps will depend on whether we get approval of the grant or whether we get the right funds for it. And then that's when we can actually begin preparing for the program, whether it's like gathering students or like creating precise schedules, gathering supplies, and then that's when the actual implementing of the program can begin.
Okay, we included some project targets. Through our program, students will learn about environmental racism. They will earn an hourly wage of $20 because we want to show them that their work is valued. They will participate in community work to restore the MLK Junior Shoreline, network with professionals in STEM and climate justice, build confidence in their leadership and advocate skills, and keep up with current events related to climate change. How do we reach our program targets? We want to hold at least 20 lectures throughout the year. Students will have collected at least 40 pounds of trash and have removed at least 60 pounds of invasive plants. We hope to lead 8 planting days, planting native species days. Students will meet at least 15 guest speakers, and at the end of the year, students will create a small project on something they have learned through their program, and it can be something technical like sea level rise or something that they learned within themselves like leadership, and it will be presented in a medium of their choice. So that could be a visual presentation or an oral presentation, whatever they are most comfortable with, because we want to ensure that they can get their point across the best way they can. Another way we want to reach our goal is through have partners. It could be anyone here that wants to help or, or someone not here. And yes, that is the end of our presentation, but we added our contact information in case someone wants to reach out, hear more about what we're thinking, or just, yeah, have questions.
Thank y'all. One more round of applause for our first youth presentation.